Welcome to another Soccer Down Here 1v1. Time to catch up with a host that will be coming with us in short order. And it is Shannon Riley, the marketing manager of Pontoon Brewing, as the SDH Tour hits Pontoon Brewing next Thursday. Shannon, thanks for hanging out with us for a 1v1 and getting folks acquainted with everything going on up there at Pontoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so a little bit of background on Pontoon Brewing for those who have not partaken in the brews that Pontoon produces. What's some background on the brewing? What do folks need to know about Pontoon?
Sure. Yeah, we opened up our location here in Sandy Springs in late 2017. So we just celebrated our third formal anniversary brewing in this spot. We are contract brewing a little bit ahead of that, and soon to come towards the end of this year or early 2022, we will be opening up a second location in Tucker, Georgia. That will house our main production facility and leave us some room to do some of these fun one-offs that we love over here in Sandy Springs.
Now, obviously, the last 12 months has been tough for everybody. How much of a challenge was it specifically for Pontoon to navigate the last calendar year?
It was wild. We made a lot of changes. So we shut our doors down shortly after our St. Patrick's Day party in March of 2020. And from there, we had to kind of switch up a lot of things that we were doing production-wise and taproom-wise. So we started up doing weekly releases. We've been using an online sales platform, Osner. And so pretty much for a little over a year now, we've been releasing new beers every single week, along with our 4 limiteds that go into distribution and 3 cores. So we have kept pretty busy. But when we started doing those in-house releases, we also opened up distribution into a few new states. So as of now, we're distributing in not only Georgia, but Louisiana, Florida, Tennessee, and then a limited amount up in Boston, Massachusetts.
What's been the feedback on the new favorites that you guys have been trotting out, in addition to the ones that are core to what Pontoon has been doing?
They've been awesome. So we like to play with a bunch of different styles. So we've been doing a bunch of fruited sours pretty much all year long, along with an IPA each month. And then we like to play around with the stout in the colder months. And we've been trying some more traditional styles. So we've done a Belgian quad as well as a triple recently that both went over well. Those limiteds that we put out into the market are our opportunity to kind of play with some more adjuncts. So we do some heavily fruited stuff, some twists on some classic styles. But we've also been putting out some more non-adjunct classic stuff. My favorite beer that we have ever made, Dem Bones, is a dry hop Pilsner. We released that a few weeks ago. So on draft and in the market right now, and it is a nice classic Pilsner with just a little bit of a hop bite. So best of both worlds.
What has Pontoon learned about itself, I guess, in the last year that you think will make the brewery stronger going forward as both a business and as a steward there in the community?
We've definitely learned that our community is strong. We spent the first half of, COVID relying on our community. When we couldn't have our doors open and have them sitting in the tap room, we started setting up some online events. And we just saw overwhelming support from, weekly purchases to seeing their faces through a computer screen every week. So we've learned a lot to rely on them and to boost them up. It's kind of poured over to the amount of nonprofit stuff we've been doing in the last year. With all of the changes that we've made, we've been pretty beneficial to have the opportunity to donate proceeds of several beers as well as host events focused on nonprofit. So the community aspect is something we're really leaning on. And we're hoping to carry that over. We're starting to right now into these outer markets that we've been distributing in. So we're, now that the vaccine's out there and things are starting to look up, we're making some plans to get out to these markets and bring the Pontoon love further than just Georgia.
When it comes to, and I guess this is the crystal ball question here a little bit, when you look at the next handful of years with all of the reaching out and the expansion that you've been doing in a very difficult time, how would you like to see, and how would Pontoon like to see things continue to grow and evolve over time when it comes to the brand, the brewing, and being out there in the community? How would you like to continue to see things grow if you had your druthers over the next couple of years?
So, I don't think we're stopping at just this other tap room. And I don't think we're stopping at just having tap rooms in Georgia. So this second production facility is going to be huge for us to be able to expand our distribution footprint. We get questions all the time, all over the country and even in other countries on where they can find our beer. So a big one is growing our distribution footprint. But I think we'll also start looking into opening up some tap rooms in different markets. Not set in stone, but some of these markets that we're distributing in now have shown us a lot of love, and we would definitely like to, have a home base out there. So I think increasing our team and reaching out further than just Georgia and the Southeast, and also we with the addition of this Sandy Springs kind of experimental program we're working on, we'd really like to see some more classic styles come out of Pontoon. We love all the fun, crazy adjuncts we do, but we want to do a lot more than that. So you'll start to see some more diversity in our beer portfolio, hopefully pretty soon here.
Other countries? I heard that right?
You did. Actually, we are going to be sending out a small distribution order out into China next month, as well as
Really?
some areas of Europe. So we've got the beer, and when we see some distributors kind of reaching out, we're sending out some test batches. So if there's any listeners in China or Europe, you can look for some of the Pontoon beers coming up in April, May.
Well, I know that we have some in Argentina and Germany and other parts of the U.S. How does that happen where folks are in other parts of the world? How did that communication start? How did this happen?
Well, so one of our investors, he also has some investments over in China. It's how we set up some of our brew house. So I want to say that that was part of the connection over there. But we've also recently started going through Tavor, which is another online company where you can get beer delivered straight to your door. Unfortunately, in Georgia, it is we're a little behind on those beer laws, but there's a bunch of areas throughout the states that people are doing that, and word of mouth, it spreads. I run the social media, and I see some of our stats going up in other countries all the time. So we've just started reaching out, made some good connections, and seeing how those play out.
Shannon Riley, marketing manager of Pontoon Brewing, hanging out with us here for a Soccer Down Here 1v1 as the Brew Tour heads to Pontoon next Thursday. And when it comes to soccer, we all know that soccer fans really enjoy tailgating. They enjoy the community aspect. We got into the community aspect a little bit where Pontoon is concerned. What's the level of the soccer connection like when it comes to Pontoon and the sport of soccer?
Yeah, so we used to have a bunch of groups coming out and watching them. Our friend Gerardo, he had ran a couple of them. He is now running Frida Kahlo, an awesome empanada food vendor. So we've set up, we actually, because of some of those groups that were coming out, transformed one of our walls in here to house a projector, shoot some, show some games up there. I admittedly am not the hugest sports fan, but it's amazing to see the number of people that crowd in here, and we've got a lot of fans around Pontoon.
So when it comes to everybody getting back out and putting everything that has gone on in the last 12 plus months behind, and it comes to getting back out into the community, what are the plans for Pontoon, and what have they been when it comes to letting folks back in, socially distancing, masks? What's protocol these days as you're hoping to have more and more folks coming back in?
So some of the laws around here have recently changed to be a little bit more lax on the mask policy. we're not super comfortable with, letting that go completely. So when we opened, I want to say in July of last summer, we opened our tap room back up. We've moved tables around, have ample space in between that. And we've got some steady lines going up to the bar up there, but we've also been pretty lucky that our outdoor area is a shared area with a business complex. So we got pretty much free reign on the weekends, and we definitely use that to our advantage. So we are still mask required inside, unless you're seated, and kind of encouraging people, especially as it warms up out here, to move and enjoy the outdoor area.
All right. So as soccer down here gets ready to go hang out at Pontoon, for those that want to keep an eye on everything that you're writing and being in touch with the world on social media, for those that want to follow Pontoon and what you're doing, how do they do it?
You can follow us on Facebook at Pontoon Brewing Company, Instagram, Pontoon Brewing, and then we are also on TikTok at Pontoon Brewing Co.
Shannon Riley, marketing manager of Pontoon Brewing, getting ready for soccer down here and the 2021 stop at Pontoon for our brewery tour. Shannon, thanks for hanging out with us for a soccer down here 1v1. We will see you very soon. Looking forward to the visit.
Awesome. We can't wait.